Hello and welcome to the Wiltshire Caravans video handover for this Lunar Delta TI. This is the 2017 model. As usual with these videos, I will just be going around the outside. To start with, I have unlocked as many lockers as I can to prevent fumbling with my fingers looking for keys. It could still happen, to be fair. But hopefully I've got them open as much as I can. Right, starting at the back, as I generally do. So we've got grab handles, obviously we've got the light clusters. These are for your indicators, your side lights, reversing lights, your main lights, obviously your brake lights. You've got a highline brake light as well. That's the most important thing there. Wiltshire Caravans, of course. Then we've got your corner steadies and the area for the number plate. Okay, this is where it gets a bit clumsy because I don't have enough hands to do all this at one time. Right, so first thing we come to is the toilet and area. So this is the area where your rinse goes in, so your pink flush rinse. Depending on which one you use, it tells you how much you need to dilute it. You always check on the instructions of the bottle. I just use an old 2-litre pop bottle. Put the desired amount of pink fluid in there and then top up with water and then just put that into the reservoir. Some people say, well, how will I know when it's empty? Your toilet won't flush anymore is the very simple answer. So that's when you'll know. Right, in here, if I can do this remarkably, just for a change, yes I did, one-handed. Okay, so you've got the standard Thetford cassette. To get the cassette out, lift and pull towards you. Continue to pull out. You'll know when it needs emptying because there's a small light on in the toilet that shows you where to when it's full and needs emptying. Just showing you here, there's a little pipe. Now this is connects to the reservoir for the pink fluid. Now when you are winterizing particularly, you'll want to empty that. So literally pull this bung out, gravity does the rest. Okay. If you do ever overflow on your toilet, please don't, because it will just go straight into this area here. You can lift this out. There's no drain for it. You have to clean that out manually. So my suggestion is don't let it overflow. All right, back to the cassette itself. So the light's shining on the toilet, so you know you need to empty it. So what you need to do, this funnel comes out forward and undo this, undo the cap there. I will put it back on. Put this cap somewhere safe. You do not want that falling into the repository that you're dumping everything into. Believe me. Then lean it forward over there, over the hole, so to speak, and press this button here. That will release any air pressure or gas pressure in there, and that will hopefully I should say, empty out. You'll want to rinse out this straight afterwards. So pull that back, open this flap, and in there there's a film. That's nice. It will not go away. There you go. So, and in there you can already see there's already some blue liquid in there. So you would then put some water in there. There's usually a hose by the toilet area to rinse out. So do that. Close up again. Slide that back again. Swill it about a bit. Repeat procedure. Okay. You'll then want to put some of the blue fluid in there. So the lid itself, or the cap, does have measurements on it. I don't know if you can really catch that very well. So fill up the required amount of blue. Again, please read the instructions, and that way you will find out how much you need to put in and whether you need to dilute depending on what you put in here. That just slides back in. Happy days. Make sure when you close this up you lock this, just in case someone hasn't put their lid somewhere safe and needs to find one. Alright. Anyway, moving further along, these are your waste pipes. So these are the two waste outlets. for your two sinks, so kitchen and bathroom, and for the shower. 28.5-inch mil diameter. Pipe just goes straight over there and can go into a waste master, or if you're on a fully serviced pitch, you can obviously get the adapters to go directly into the drainage. Okay. So this is a twin axle model. It does have a motor mover on it. Not going to do anything about the motor mover on this video, simply because there is a separate video for it. The wheels, they are torqued up to 130 Newton meters. So if you haven't got a torque wrench, I suggest you get one. Okay, next we get to the battery box. Yeah, so the battery box, spookily, contains a battery. So this is where the battery in. This is a 110 amp battery on this one, and this is where your electric hookup goes, and also where the motor mover isolator is. Now the isolator is placed there so you cannot connect the motor mover while you are plugged into the electrics. That's a good idea. Two reasons. One, it's a 12 volts system. You don't want 230 volts going through it. Secondly, well, you don't want to be pulling the lead off the pole. Next area, this is where your water pipe goes in, or water pump goes in. So you'll see here, there's two areas. You've got a shower out and a pump in. If you give me 2 seconds, let's go to the front. I've already unlocked this, so this flips up. Let's find the water pump. He says, in amongst the tangles. I'll show you how all this works. Give me 2 seconds. Okay, so the pump. Right, sorry, I've already put it in. Just to show you quickly a handy little feature. This cutout here puts that in so you can actually, when you are refilling your water roll, stop the electric pump part of it actually going onto the floor into any mess and dirt that might be on the floor. Okay, let's just take this out. Try to keep that on. So, the pump itself, it's a well pump. Literally just slides straight in until you hear a slight click, and then your pump is in. This goes into the aqua roll. This just covers up the hole on the aqua roll. Happy days, your water comes through when you turn the pump on inside. Okay, to remove it, very simply, trigger. It's not really even a trigger. It's just a button on the top. Press it down, slide it straight out, and there you have it. Okay, very, very simple indeed. I'll just put this back in there. Right, continuing around the van. This is the exhaust point for the Alde heating system. The exhaust point for when you are actually using gas. If you're using electric, it doesn't come out, there's nothing there. But when you're using gas, that is the exhaust point. Right, back to the front. Back to front, yes, generally I am. Gas locker, so you can take two gas bottles, propane or butane. This one's set up for propane. Inside here you've got the electric lead, so someone's tidied up very unnicely at all. The shower, the pump, and Alco wheel lock, always useful. Ooh, let's just put that in there till I tidy it up later. I do quite like the style of gas locker door, and obviously the three big windows. You do see there's got some lights to light up your grab handles. Not entirely sure what that's all about, but they are there anyway. It took me an hour and a half to find the button for it. Well, not really that long. Anyway, I digress. So it runs on the Alco chassis, so it's also got the Alco ATC. Basically, that's a sensor on the axle. So if the caravan starts to go out of shape, if it starts to snake at all, the trailer control kicks in and puts the brakes on. That will then stabilise the caravan. So All good there. The only time you should really notice it is if you're going over a speed hump. You may feel that the caravan gets a bit heavier for a couple of seconds. That is just the ATC working. Also on here, onto the near side now, got gas barbecue point. I always point this out, but it's as a safety factor, please do not put a gas barbecue inside an awning. Really, they're not best bedfellows. So please try very hard not to do that. This is just another external locker. It's an external wet locker, if anything. I will just grab the keys a second to show you. So, yeah, just an external locker. Good thing is it's got a little 230-volt socket, which with the cutout there you can run an extension lead direct into your awning, which is nice. Awning light, oddly enough, goes into the awning. Solid door, it's not got the stable door, solid single door. Fridge and freezer and microwave vents, and this is just storage under the bed into the external storage. Okay, right, quick walk around inside and then I'll go around all the features. So the lounge area, nice long benches at the front. No great surprise there. It is one of those, it's a twin axle, so yeah, there's plenty of space inside. Going quickly through the kitchen on this side, microwave, large fridge freezer, into the bedroom area. You might catch a glimpse of me in a minute, so apologies. Try not to scare children. Okay, it's coming up to Halloween-ish. Bathroom, again, this is the light that comes on when the cassette needs emptying, and you've got a really nice size shower. That is really nice. Probably not done justice with the video phone, but we'll get to the main instruction part in a moment. Okay, right, we're going to go through all the instructions now of how to get everything working and running smoothly on your caravan now. As you come in, above the door, that's the main control panel. Like I say, you can get that lovely image of me in there. I'll try and shift away from that. If you come in, there are two options. You've got, obviously, there's a power on, nothing happening. But this is because this has got the Sergeant system. Now the Sergeant system has a master shutdown as well as a standard power on button. So here, if I can get down low enough, you've got a system shutdown. Turn that on, you hear the beep, so we've got power coming in. So you want power to the charger, to the space heater, which is just the heating, and the water heating. Okay. In here, you've also got your fuses, which are labelled here, and all your breaker switches, which again are labelled. Now, the system shutdown obviously will only work if you turn it off. If you do not turn it off, it doesn't go off, and then you just use the power button, which is, he says, stretching, back up here. So now, I'm hoping, power comes on. So now the power's come on, the lights have come on, the awning light is on. So that's the awning light. Hadn't come on, sorry. Lights are on, as we can see. I press this, lights are all off. Okay. So lights on, that's what we want. Water, so when that water pump is in that I showed you earlier, turn the water pump on and it will light up. At that point you could start using your water. It will fill up the hot water tank, and then you can open the taps and then get water feeding through. You do have, if you read here, a couple of options, and this is to go through like a menu. So you can, no vehicle battery, well that's because we haven't got the car attached. Solar power, select battery. To select anything you would press this one. So it's no vehicle battery, but dimming adjust. So if you press that, then you've got dimming features on the for the lighting. Tank fill off. Well, that's if this. It's a generic system that Lunar used, a generic sort of control panel. Some of their caravans had internal tanks. I don't think this one does, so you won't be able to fill anything up there anyway. But generally, this is where you change anything. And it says set hour, so we can see we're currently at 2 minutes past midnight. That's because we've only just turned the system shut down back on. Okay, so you can set the hour, etc., etc. Go again, then you set the minutes, etc. I mean, it's not actually 7:05 now, but that you get the gist of how that's done. But as I will be turning the system shut down off again, you'll have to reset it anyway. I hope that's clear. It does come with a manual, so that everything is explained. Probably better than I just did then, to be fair. Next part, and probably the most important part in the UK, heating and hot water. So this is the Alde system, the wet central heating system. It has a reservoir of glycol and water. Just turning this on now. What it shows straight away is this is the temperature in here at the moment. It's 16.5. We're currently plugged into the electric, and when it's got a circulation sign on that, means the system is is currently heating up. Press menu to get to the front screen, and it's currently showing that I want it to be at 21 degrees because this is the temperature. If I can press it down or up, it's just worked on the thermostatic method. So up or down, whatever temperature you want it to be in here. There is an option in the settings. You can set night settings, so you can have different temperatures through the day and through the night. I'll actually set that because it'll show you when I get back to the main screen. There's an A there now. That's an activated setting, or activated function, I should say. Press that activated function. It will show you what it is. Go into it, and then to turn it off, press on, oddly enough. But then you see there's no A there anymore, so that's gone. But I was very lazy, and all I did was that, turned it down at night. I will put it on to 21, just as a standard setting. And when you turn the system back on, it will still be stored in there. The second one is how much it's for the hot water, and it's not just the shower, it's a hot water. So if I press empty that triangle, you've got no power to your hot water. Press plus and you'll get half a triangle. That will give you enough hot water, probably 95 to 100% of the time. The only time you would need to boost it again is if you had probably a few of you wanting a shower in quick succession. It just heats up the water far quicker if you do that. The only problem with that is it takes all the power away from the heating. So to be fair, I never ever had to boost the power on the hot water. Underneath that, you've got the electricity and how much we are using for the just for the heating and hot water. I'll give you the options. The options are off, oddly enough. 1 kilowatt, what's that, 4.4 amps. For quite a big system that you've got in a quite a big caravan like this, is probably not enough. You will struggle. It might maintain the temperature as long as it's not too cold outside once you've got it to temperature. I would say 2 kilowatts, 8.8 amps. If you've got 10 amps or more on your site, it's more than capable of coping with the 2 kilowatts. It will heat things up a lot faster, nice and toasty relatively quickly. But if you want a real boost, you can go to 3 kilowatts. But if you're on a 10 amp site, you've already popped the pole. So my recommendation is 2 kilowatts is enough. It really generally is. You do have the option of using gas should you wish to do so. You could do that at the same time. That would boost things up very quickly. Or if you're in the middle of a field, you're only going to use gas anyway, so that's the way to choose that. But if you're on a site that you've already paid for the electricity, that is the setting I would leave it on, and this is what I'm going to leave this on. Settings menu, there's an awful lot of things you can do in there, which is why we give you a book to read. If I was to go through all of this, we'd be here all day. Okay, but I will show you that if you turn the system off, power button here, and turn it back on again, it will go through its little sort of startup spiel. Then press menu, and you'll see you're at 21 degrees, half a triangle, and you're on 2 kilowatts. Hope that's clear as mud. Okay, there is a separate video I could send direct from Alde that explains how all these things work. Right, I'm getting on the floor again because a part of the water system, particularly for winterizing, bear in mind we are just about to come into October. Right, under the front bench you can see a yellow tap. That yellow tap in the horizontal position that it is at the moment means that it's letting all water out of the caravan, out of the hot water tank. Basically that's your drain down valve. You absolutely want to keep that open and open the taps for winter. Make sure you've got no liquid in the pipes at all. As I was saying previously with the toilet reservoir as well, the toilet flush reservoir, make sure they're empty, particularly for winter. When it comes to, you want water to come back in, literally, that's the position you want. Close your taps and set your pump running. Okay, that's probably the more complicated stuff. The rest of it, it's fairly straightforward. Obviously lots of space in these, lots of cupboard space, lots of individual light switches. These are all individual. There will be some that I'll miss and you'll have to look through yourself. See little cubby holes, all very nice. There's the radio in there. Radio CD player, good stuff. And the rest of it's just cupboard space in here. You can see down in the front you have got a 230-volt socket, a 12-volt socket, and a coax and a SAT connection for TV. Standard with these things, you've got the little table at the front, which is nice. Lots of drawer space. And you come round to the kitchen side. Nice worktop extension. I mean, it's got not a bad sized worktop as it is, but it's nice to have the extension. Oh, it's a strange one. This button here, I could not work out what this was for a while. These are for your the gas locker light and the service light on the off side. It's got a service light so you can fit, do your water rolls, even in the dark because there's light there. This is the kitchen light. A couple of USB points, which is nice. Some nice storage here. Freestanding table in there. Again, more storage. Cutlery tray, or drawer I should say. Very good. Right, Thetford Aspire 2 oven. So it's got 1 electric burner, 3 gas hobs. When the lid is down, the gas will not light, but the hob may still come on, as you can see. That being a little bit possibly hazardous. We have had a couple of occasions where someone has knocked this, or whether one of the kids has turned the knobs on the cooker, and that has made the glass shatter. For that purpose, or because of that, underneath the oven there's an isolator, so you can just turn that off and that will stop the stop the hot plate from working. Also got some cobwebs. It's nice, as well as some gas isolators for the cooker, for the fridge, and for the hot water. If you're using propane, you can just turn it off and on at the bottle. Otherwise, you can use those if you're using butane. Standard system. There's your spark for all of for the grill, separate grill and oven, and for the 3 gas burners. Turning round, go straight upstairs first. It's got the usual microwave, 800 watt Daewoo microwave. It's got the eco button, so press that. The microwave comes on. Please don't travel with the glass in there. But people do, we know it. Fridge freezer, so nice size freezer. There's the fridge open. Right, so the fridge, power on. You do need to open up the fridge and freezer part first. Power on is that one. So then currently we're using electric. Can go onto gas. It's beeping away because we don't have any gas connected. You can also use the car alternator. Okay, let's go back to electric, stop that beeping. Now, with the car alternator or the car battery, as long as the fridge and freezer are already cold, this will maintain a temperature. It will not cool it down from the very start. It will maintain the temperature. Okay, so if you keep a van in storage, not really a lot of help because you can't get it down cool enough to start with. However, if you're when you're coming back and you might want to keep stuff cold, it'll do that. It'll maintain that temperature. You've also got the option of temperature of the fridge and of the freezer. It's all good. It's all exciting. Anyway, I digress. I just open and close using these buttons. Hopefully this is clear enough so far. A couple of more light switches over here. Obviously you can see which one that is. This one could not work out for the life of me what that was. That is the light switch on the grab handles at the front. Alright, going into the bedroom area. Quickly want to show you the reservoir where the Alde heating fluid is kept. As long as this level is, see, that's quite warm where I turned it on earlier on. As long as the level is slightly above minimum, you don't want it any more than where it is at the moment. You certainly don't want it up all the way up to max because, well, I say it won't do any harm, but because the fluid expands with heat, it will just overflow outside any excess, but it won't do any damage inside, but just a waste of fluid. So you've got your Vision Plus booster there for the aerial, the TV aerial, standard sort of TV aerial. Undo this the nut here, slide the shaft up, turn the aerial into the direction that everyone else has got their TV aerials pointed to, tighten up the nut, then retune the television. Yeah, standard as I say on all of our videos. Nice idea of having the light in here. Also got some little instructions inside, safety instructions. Safety information is always good. Okay, bedroom area now. Got a TV bracket already in here. Sort of coax, satellite, 12 volt and a 230 volt socket. Again, lots of space, lots of covered space. Really nice, really nicely laid out. Into the bathroom. Oh, I will go on. I'm going to go under the bed. Bear with me. So just lift the bed up to see you've got lots of storage under there. Just because there is lots of storage, you don't have to fill it all up. If you're going to, make sure it's stuff that's light, or if you're going to, particularly if you're travelling, anything heavy, please put in the car if you can do so. Anyway, bathroom. So as I said earlier, this is the where the toilet light will come on when the cassette is full. There's your flush. Once you've done what you need to do, make sure, oh, by the way, the seat does swivel around so you can get comfortable. When you've done anything, empty that out. Empty it into the cassette by pushing that across. Make sure you bring it back over though. Say that because that opens and shuts the flap on the cassette itself. If that cassette flap is open and you try to remove the cassette, it gets stuck and you will try to pull it out, you'll wrench it out and you'll break something and have to buy a new one. And they're not cheap, so make sure that flap is closed. Heated towel rail, if it's hot at the top, hot at the bottom but not so hot at the top, it needs bleeding. And if I could get that off whilst I'm doing this, it'd be a miracle, just to show you where it's, oh, this bleeding thing, excuse the expression. Just a little screw top up there, just needs bleeding, where it would do. Okay, sink, there's a sink with a mixer tap, just to say that the hot water does get very hot, so make sure you are mixing it correctly. Don't just go straight to hot water and put your hand under it, it will scald you. And then, what I think in here is fabulous. A lovely shower, a really nice shower. Towel rail on there as well, but when you're travelling, make sure that's closed. It's quite magnetic, it's quite hard to open, so that will stay in place. The bathroom door, obviously it's got a catch to stop it sliding around when travelling, and it literally just slides across, slide back. But when, again, particularly for travelling, keep that shut and locked in. Hopefully that's covered just about everything. Blinds, yeah, we've definitely got them. So blackout blinds, fly screens all round. Be careful, don't yank them too hard. Occasionally the strings do go on the fly screens, so don't yank them too hard. Standard catches. Nice big sunroof. The sunroof, there's a bit of a trick to it. Yeah, so yeah, this sunroof, I will actually show the people who own who've bought this how to do this. It's a little bit delicate. Once you've opened up all the clips, instead of just pushing up and up and up thinking it's going to stop, you have to push gently and wait for a click and hold it there, then it will stay open. That's pretty much it from me. Any questions, as always, please do give us a call, 01373 752 100. That's 01373 752 100. If you do like these videos, or if they find them useful, please do like and subscribe. That would be really good if you could do that, onto our YouTube channel. In the meantime, thanks for watching. Okay, thanks now. Bye bye.